Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today with me, as always.
Hey guys, it's Amara on the show.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good. What's been up now?
Man, it's been a beautiful first quarter.
It has been a beautiful Q1.
Oh Lord, it's been a beautiful Q1, man. It's been intense. It's been all shades of intense, but it's been enjoyable. I didn't even realize it was like we're getting towards the end of the Q1.
I think this year is being sneakily fast, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sneakily
I think I agree.
Like people are not talking about the fact that this year is fast, but it is being sneakily fast.
And I think it's partly because does this apply to everybody? I'm wondering if this applies to everybody.
Let's hear it.
I would say I think it's partly because I personally have been so focused that I'm literally counting weeks. Like, dude, I counted week 10 or 11, I think, in my journal, and I was like, week 11 already?
LMAO.
What? Dude.
I get you.
Dude.
I get you. And I think that habit of being aware or conscious of timing is important to this journey of success and greatness.
Yes.
Everything has to be measured.
Yes.
And it's not as hard as you think to stay on top or just keep it top of mind.
Another thing people don't realize is that 52 weeks is not really plenty.
It's like not really plenty.
It's not really much.
It's like a Monday happens, then it's Wednesday, then
the
it's
next
Sunday.
Monday happens.
It's next Monday. That's two.
That's two.
That's two, bro.
Really 50.
That's two, bro. That's two, my guy. So
Dude.
yeah, like you have to be conscious of time. So it's not as if it's just a theme that we used to open up the episode. Sometimes we just go straight into what it is that we have to talk about that day. But you see us in our day to day, in our week on week, being conscious of the fact that like this is how much time has passed. This is what we've done with that time, and this is how we can make the next.
I think that's part of
better.
That's part of our introductions, and when we talk about how did the week go,
is
quantifying what happened with that time.
Yeah, exactly, because that it's the most fundamental currency, man. It's what you give to get the things that you want to have in your life.
Yeah,
essentially.
So you have money to exchange for it.
With the reach.
Anyways, what are we discussing today, bro?
Feedback. How to process feedback. That's what we're talking about today. It's pretty interesting. It's the end of Q1. You would think that some companies would have started the appraisals and the entire appraisal process and like whatnot. So, again, the whole point of measuring things is to improve.
Exactly.
Is to get better.
Exactly.
But what are some tips? How do you imagine people navigate feedback? So I have thoughts about using the word constructive criticism.
Why?
I don't know.
I think I want to hear what those thoughts are before we go into this.
I don't know. It's like if you are given any sort of feedback, the whole point of feedback is to make better. The feedback should make better. It should be constructive. In and of itself, it should. It's like it should go without saying.
Finish.
Do you understand? It should go without saying. I'm not saying that there are not idiots in this life.
This is where I was going.
That are villainous and that are malicious,
dude,
and whatnot. Like you just go and start. Who's your father? You just go and start opening your mouth.
What sent your life with my life?
Do you understand?
Where do we really intersect? There was a video I saw on Instagram. Oh God. I can't remember her name. But the babe always does this dance where she jumps up with her two legs, so with her feet spread apart. That's like her signature move, right? And she now made a video and was like, for a lot of people, this is me minding my business. This big circle here. This is your business. This tiny circle on the other side. Your business and my business don't meet anywhere. They have no meeting point. So can you stay where you are?
You understand? That's it.
So people just give feedback like,
So that's I wouldn't consider that feedback. I'll consider that people's opinions. Like their opinions, man.
I like that.
Like in the sense of what feedback is supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Because criticism scores you. So, like for instance, if you're a hotel or a fast food chain and you are trying to get rated, a critic comes to score you.
Yes.
They are not necessarily suggesting things like to make you get better. They're just saying this is how you are doing in each of these places. It is now the onus is now on you to try to figure out how you're going to be better. Do you understand? So you can invite industry practitioners that can help you audit and then give you feedback. Do you understand? So I feel in my mind, again, this might be a pet peeve. It's likely a pet peeve.
It doesn't matter.
But, but I like having that separation.
I think that separation
is important.
Especially when you start building in public.
Thank you. When you start building in public.
That separation is important.
See, if you want to talk, very well. Human beings can talk.
You talk very well. Okay, but how many of you are in the arena doing the thing?
Do you understand?
The people who are doing the thing, they did not criticize that person.
Do you understand?
It's you. Dude, I saw a video. The guy talked about systems and structures. And then at the end of the video, one day they left a comment in the comment section and was like, but you didn't talk about any technologies, you didn't talk about any flow charts. So what exactly did you really offer in this video apart from just promoting yourself? And I didn't even notice, dude. I didn't notice that statement was smelling of entitlement. I didn't notice, right? So people there pointing it out that Dave, why do you feel entitled to this guy's flow chart? like, oh my god! Like, it's not like he didn't share anything valuable.
Yeah.
A lot of people thanked him in the comment section.
Yeah.
So assuming he didn't share anything valuable, it would have been a very good point to have made from her comment.
Yeah.
Right? But then people were thanking him. They were thanking this guy for coming to at least dissect this thing in some way. Like, it's usually very, very vague when people talk about systems.
Yeah.
And this guy like did something in his own little way.
Yeah.
And again, he even goes on his page to say that everything I post here is stuff I'm learning on my journey.
Do you understand?
I posted what I learned. You now ask me where's my technology. Please, what's the entitlement? Dude. So yes, I think that separation is important when you're building online. It's important. But yes, how do people deal with feedback?
I think this naturally just takes us to the first point I think you should consider when you are receiving feedback of anything. Who's the person telling you the feedback? That was a beautiful segue into this first point.
Yes, it was.
Like, who is the person giving you this feedback?
Yeah.
Like, is the person important enough in your life journey to be able to say, I think you should try this, or I don't think this was great, or I think you goofed, or even take on a stronger tone, you blatantly messed up. Who is that person to you? Who are the kind of people you can take that from? Yeah. So I was rewatching a Jordan Peterson interview with what's his name, Piers Morgan, this morning.
The way you remember these people's names, I'm just like, I'm getting better, guys. It's not that bad anymore.
So Piers Morgan brought up when Cristiano Ronaldo and Jordan Peterson met up at Cristiano Ronaldo's house. Okay. It was just before the World Cup saga and then that entire leaving Man U saga. Okay. And like they talked for like, Jordan said that they talked for about like 2 hours on like what was this thing. And because Jordan Peterson, people polarize him. I won't say he's polarizing. Like people have really, really extreme thoughts. I've sat down watching interviews and someone sees my iPad and says, you listen to that guy? That's the kind of effect that Jordan Peterson has. Yeah. But see, I'm a fanboy. I'm a fan. My full chest. Consciously, I'm a fan. Yeah. So, and a student.
And so, also, just to add to that, before we continue about Jordan Peterson and Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't listen to him so much, right, Jordan Peterson, but I haven't found any video of him that I would consider to be outright worth the negative polarization. But anyway, let's move on. Maybe I just have missed it. Who knows? But let's move on.
So he then brought up the point of, so Piers Morgan brought out the people's reactions when I don't know who posted, whether it was Ronaldo or Jordan, but they posted the picture and it was them in the picture. So obviously they met up. So people that obviously are not fans of Jordan Peterson were like, legend gone, legacy destroyed. I'm telling you, I promise you, I'm not making this up. Just because Ronaldo met up with Peter, I'm telling you.
Crazy.
I'm telling you, guy, people have guts.
Dude.
People have guts. Guy, people have guts.
That's wild.
So, bro, it's a joke. So that's the thing. Who is the person giving you this feedback? Who is the person? Who is the person to you? Who is the person in your journey?
And I think it's important. Yes, I think it's important to state that it's not a thing of pride. There's a clear distinction.
Yes.
Between where your pride is getting in the way of your feedback versus this person is just not worth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a thing of
pride. I think
we
can make that distinction on this podcast.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, and then it's a matter of, in addition to that, let's say it's even someone you respect and that is worth giving the feedback. How you interpret it in terms of how much you take away from it or whether you just really leave it. Because at the end of the day, what you do with feedback is your choice.
Yes, it's your choice.
Let's make that clear. Second thing is, how much context does a person have into this area of my life, into what's going on?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, like who gives you that feedback is
important.
And then double clicking on what you just said, the point you just made, what was it again?
Pride.
About it being a matter of pride. Same instance with Jordan. There was a time Jordan Peterson was banned from Twitter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like they banned him from Twitter, like just before Elon took over.
Are you serious?
Like it was a couple of months. He was banned
because of extremism in his thoughts.
Yeah, just because the people like hate whatever.
Yeah, I get that.
They found he was cancelled.
Yes,
unquote.
Yeah.
So, and he said again, it was in this interview because I rewatched it just this morning, so that's why I'm remembering the facts.
Okay.
So, he talked about how he had several hours of conversations and debate. Again, he's an academic, he's an intellectual, probably one of the best we've seen in clinical psychology in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
And she said he was talking with other academics and intellectuals, friends, really smart people that he respects. Yeah. And they went back and forth about him, like the situation he was in, being banned and like whatnot. And he was like, at the end of it all, there were people on every side of the divide. Some that they were saying that yes, his stance, his message, and his approach was good. Yeah. Some were even saying he has to be a lot harsher to the radicals left
on the other
side. Yeah.
Right.
And then others were saying that no, you should probably soften or milden your approach so that you don't chase these people away when you can actually extend an olive branch to them and you let them hear your message. That kind of this thing. But it went back and forth for it. They said it was hours. Yeah, they were talking, like trying to weigh the pros and cons of the message, the approach. The message wasn't going to change because he believes he's speaking the truth. Yeah. Yeah. But it was a matter of the approach.
Okay.
And he said he came out of that understanding, okay, I can soften the approach. I can take out the unnecessary emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion that doesn't add to it.
Yes, I get that.
The emotion that can distract.
Yes.
I can take that out, get my message across.
Yes, the emotion blocks the message.
Exactly.
Yes.
And maybe not be as polarizing. He took feedback. But it had to be the right people to tell him.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, number one, who gives you the feedback really, really matters.
Yeah.
Second thing I'll say is don't take it too personal.
I was going to even talk about that personal.
Let's hear your thoughts on it. Let's hear your thoughts on it.
So the issue is at the end of the day, there is a very high tendency we can't expect everybody to push feedback out the way we would like to receive it.
100%.
Right? So the feedback can be very nasty. Like the person could have been at a point in their lives where things were going
really through
badly.
it.
Yes.
They just transferred
the
emotion into delivering that feedback, correct?
Yes. And so it is very important in not taking it personally.
Yeah.
That you ask yourself, was there any element of truth
100%
in this feedback?
100%.
Right. And the moment you establish that there is an element of truth, it is left for you, and this might require some time. You might need to separate yourself from the event or the person for a while to process that feedback and separate the emotion from the message.
Got it.
So that you take what the element of truth was, deal with that for yourself in whatever way you choose to deal with that, right? And then address the how.
Exactly.
Later.
Exactly.
So if you feel the need to have to address the how, okay, so this person, because say you value the relationship you have with that person.
Yeah.
But that's something to also keep in mind as well. That what kind of relationship do I have with this person? And do I consider this relationship valuable enough to establish what I think proper grounds for communication should be going forward?
Correct.
You get. And so the moment you establish that relationship is important enough, you can then go ahead later when you are sure to some extent that you have separated separated the emotion. Because the thing is, when you receive that kind of feedback that is heavily negative
and emotionalized,
right, there is a very high tendency for you to, emotions are transferable.
It go touch you.
It is like electrical current. It flows.
Yeah.
So you can't absolve yourself 100% of the time.
Yeah.
You get. So in those times when it touch you, you need to
calm down.
Take a chill pill.
Calm down.
It's not about you right now.
Yeah.
You get. It's not, and we might argue that there could be times when it was about you in the moment. But a lot of the time, when somebody is saying something to you, right, and this is usually in, let's say, work settings or cordial or casual relationships or whatever the case is, right? In those kinds of settings, it's usually more about the person in that moment.
100%.
You get. So you establish that, oh yeah, this person needs to get something off their chest. It might be official or unofficial. But the moment that has been done, if the relationship is the kind of relationship where you can talk about the manner of approach later, then you do that later. Not then. It's important to say not then. Because then you invalidate the person, and people don't listen when they don't feel heard. You get. So if you talk back at the feedback, just because you don't like the manner of approach, the person is not hearing you 150% of the time.
And it further hurts whatever strains or strands of relationship.
Yes.
Holding that relationship together.
Exactly.
Further hurts it. So
yes, that's what I wanted to talk about not taking it personally.
It's exactly the same thoughts that I have. You need to be able to separate your actions from your person.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's how they say good people can do bad things, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, that makes sense.
There might be things that you are doing great. There are things that you might not be doing great. It doesn't mean you're bad. It just means this is a place for improvement. So, and if feedback is taken that way, I feel the only thing that should be personal should be encouragement.
In what way? I don't get.
Like I'm saying that people, I'm talking from the perspective of people giving the feedback now. So as much as there is kind of like what we said in the mentor-mentee relationship, where we talked about the obligations of both sides of the party to themselves and to the relationship. So as much as we are talking about how to treat feedback that you receive, probably we could also lend the word to the people giving the feedback as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you, as much as possible, you want to state facts.
Yes.
As much as possible. If you understand the person well enough, and if you consider yourself, that you are in a position to give feedback that could help the situation, you shouldn't give feedback to cut down. That's not feedback. That's not feedback. You're just tearing that person down with words. So, but if you want the situation to improve, you want the person to be better, you state these are the things that are wrong. We can come up together if the context allows for it. We can come up together with a working plan to make this better or to alleviate the situation on what. I'm not saying that life doesn't happen.
Yeah, sometimes it could just be suggestions to give.
It could really just be suggestions, but also the manner in which feedback is given. Could also help in how it is digested.
Yes.
But then I
think that's 100% of the time.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100% of the time, maybe. But it's also a thing of where we're speaking specifically to the case where what they said really stung your ego.
Yes, that's the case for speaking
where
to.
It really,
I think it's usually your ego that's on the line.
It's your ego that's on the line.
It's usually your ego that's on
honestly,
the line.
on the way to greatness, your ego has to die
1,000 deaths, man, by 1,000 cuts.
1,000 deaths, by as many cuts as are necessary. Like, you need to get to the point where all that matters is the end goal. It's you achieving what it is that you need to achieve. Worry about looking good later. You look good when you've made it, I promise you.
I say it all the time. People like to associate.
People like to
associate with people who are doing great.
I promise you.
Yeah.
You look good when you made it. So, like, take that ego aside and take that feedback. And I think if you find yourself, I'm surrounded by friends who are able to call me out on my bullshit anytime, like I'm acting crazy. Amara is probably number one. Is co-leading with Abai on me on that level, and we give each other like steady as it should. But I pray you are fortunate enough in life to find people around you that can cut the bullshit, that can cut through, and you know that this thing is coming from a place of love.
A place of love, yes.
Do you understand? It's important you have people around you
that can tell you.
That can
because
tell you.
If there is nobody, dude.
That's how tyrants come up.
I was going to go there. I was going to.
That's how tyrants come up.
Oh, have you seen How to Be a Tyrant?
No. Netflix. I haven't seen it.
Dude, these people are literally surrounded by nobody.
Yes, men.
Yes, men.
Yes, men.
Thank you. You gave me the words. They are surrounded by yes men. That's. I remember one of our podcast episodes. You said you wanted us to explore the conversation of narcissism.
No, that one.
It's not yet.
It's not for now. I'm looking forward to it so much. It's not for now. That is going to be a really, really
good but I mean, I didn't finish saying how to become a tyrant because it was too tyrannical.
I can definitely imagine that.
It was a lot. I don't know. Some people might not think it's a lot. I mean, some people like horror. I don't. Because there's no reason to subject myself to fear and suspense.
Let me.
It makes no sense. Did you get it? But that's a bit of a digression, right? Yeah. But the point is that I remember watching that movie and I was just that series, and I was just like, everybody around you is yes and amen. They don't argue.
Oh my god.
Yes, and it is done. Yes, sir, it is done. Yes, it is done.
Oh my god.
Like, the thing is, and as the problem is, the more you rise, the more power you begin to have accessible to you.
The more power you can wield.
Exactly. And so if there is nobody that can
that can hold you accountable.
It's gonna be a lot.
That's the thing. So feedback is important if you want to grow.
It is.
And it can come from you being self-aware of.
Yes. It can come from yourself.
It can come from yourself. Like,
so you need to be graceful to yourself.
I know try.
You need to be graceful.
That's a very good point. That's the word. Be graceful with yourself. Whether the feedback is coming from you or it's coming from other people. Yeah. The point is that I think fundamentally, if you have the ability to implement change in your life, I think you're good. I think you're good.
That's what's important. That's you have the willingness.
You have the willingness and the ability
to take correction.
The willingness and the ability to take correction and implement it in your life. I think you're good. And you will actually crave the feedback because your mind is thinking.
We tell ourselves the truth. A lot of the things that hinder us on this journey or in life in general tie back down to ego.
I was literally about to say that.
Tie back to ego.
It ties back to ego.
In your romantic relationships, in your relationships in the workplace, in your relationships on social media, everything is very egotistical. So if you aren't able to kill that ego 1,000 times, I'll kill you. Dude, you would find that it would be very difficult for you to be that person somebody who can take
the feedback. Willingness and the ability to take and implement feedback. Speaking about ego is not self-confidence. So they are two different things.
It's not self-confidence. No.
Self-confidence comes from seeing proof. Competence.
Proof there, yes.
That is what self-confidence is.
Yeah.
Ego is mostly unfounded on an idea.
On the belief about yourself. Yes.
Do you understand? That's what it's mostly founded on. But there is a calm, quiet self-confidence. When you're a competent individual, there's a difference.
I would like to have that dissection between humility and ego, man. But it's not for today.
It's not for today. So, guys, first, who is giving you this feedback? You need to be, and yes, it might seem like mental gymnastics. Like some people, I can easily hear some people ask the question,
why are these all the things we need to think about?
Yeah,
and why do I have to be a better person?
Exactly. Do you want to grow?
Do you want to grow?
Do you want to move forward in life?
Do you want to grow? Like that's why people. He paid me. No, this one.
I get you.
This one. See,
I know.
Because that's why you're listening to us.
Literally.
Right? Do you want us to lie to you? Like, dude, you want to be a better person.
What you have to do.
Like, you must die to ego. Ego must die to you. Anyone.
Whatever the voice
Ego shall die in the equation.
That's the point.
Dude.
That's the point. Like, you have, yes, do you want to grow? Do you want to succeed? Do you want to achieve greatness? Do you want to do something fantastic? Do you want to push? Then,
and again, you cannot. Some people listening can also make the argument that there were people who have Ibrahimovic, for example. There's people who have achieved all that they have achieved while being very egotistical, right? And there's the truth in that. But I think there is a limit to how far you can rise. He considers himself the best, right? I don't know how I feel about it, right? Obviously, you see, the thing is, the teams you are...
There are plenty nuances.
There's nuances, exactly. The teams you have operated with could be a nuanced situation as well. But anyway, I am of the opinion that there is a limit to how far you can rise when you let your ego lead the way.
So this is the thing. The people that are egotistical, they are not succeeding because of the ego. They are succeeding because they have the balls to do what needs to be done, and the belief. Whatever you need to do, you need to start out with belief.
Yes.
That's at least an idea.
Yes.
Even if you don't believe it, at least an idea. Then the more you get proof for it, the more you believe it.
Scoring
I guess.
Points.
Do you understand? Scoring points in favor of the person you want to become.
Yes.
So it is not because of the ego. Like, there is a way I can break this down in terms of like the personality traits that might be responsible for how much success
the person has gotten.
Do you understand?
Regardless of their ego.
Regardless of the ego. Like, they're
but the ego still limits your life in general. It does. I'm yet to find a person who has that level of ego and has gotten to insane heights in life. Situations are nuanced. So you can be born into riches, right? There's all of that, yes. But to work your way from the ground up with that much ego.
If you're born into riches, your grounds are the riches. So which means you have more leverage to do better.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, there are certain levels of results that you can maybe expect from that person if you're trying to say everything is like the conditions are generalized or similar. Like, there's how you can think about that entire shebang. But then the point is, and you can't be egotistical all the time. You can't tell your trainer what to do. The Ibrahimovic you're shouting about, he will listen to his trainer.
Yes.
There are people he will listen to.
Yes,
you need feedback. That's the point.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you need feedback.
So how do we summarize these points? You were saying, first of all, who is it coming from?
Who is it coming from?
Next.
In that, who is it coming from? Yeah, is the person important enough or valuable enough to give you that piece of advice or feedback? Secondly, does the person have context enough? That will let you understand how to manage offense. If the person says something that kind of doesn't consider the entire picture, you can understand that
this person doesn't have enough context.
Exactly, this person doesn't have enough context.
You're less likely to get offended.
You're less likely to get offended. You can just smile and deal with it, or you just move on from it. So that's the first thing. Who's giving feedback? Secondly, don't take it personal. Look for the actual points of improvement.
Yes, separate the message from the emotion.
Separate the message from the emotion.
Yeah.
What is the message? Is there truth to it? Okay, what are the action items?
Yeah.
And about the approach. If the approach or the emotions that went along with it kind of like hurt you, if it's a relationship that you value well enough,
and the relationship where feedback can be given from
to that person,
yeah, then you can go ahead.
You can go ahead
and address
that
on their time.
Yes, and we suggest after you started working on the feedback points.
Yes, very solid point.
After you started working on the
very solid point.
This would help in the office, especially if you have bosses that can be a little too much. I know people that work in sales probably understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, people, yes.
When you have bosses that can be a little too much, this is how you manage.
Yeah.
Or these are thoughts to help you get started managing the situation, because usually everything is nuanced.
Yes.
Everything is nuanced.
So guys, thank you for listening.
Feedback is important. You can't do without it. You can't do without it.
We thank you for listening, guys. We hope this helps you in one way, shape, or form.
This is sobering, to be fair. It is very sobering, but do you want to grow?
Yeah. Do you want to be better?
You need feedback.
You want to be better.
See, I promise you, if you see me and Amara's chats on 0 to X group, if you don't have the chest for it, you will think, how are you two guys working together? But that is what greatness entails.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what greatness entails.
So guys, we'll be seeing you in the next one as always.
My guys, my people,
Cheers.
take care.